Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. This is the Turkey Legster Zone, officially the Turkey Legster Zone. It is a special edition of the Turkey Legster Zone, and welcome in. Welcome back to the channel. This is not when I normally do the Turkey Legster Zone. Normally, this happens on Saturday evening. And this is a bonus. So I'm going live. I'm going to see who's around. Going to see what we get into. Um, hope you've had a great, wonderful Thursday. And so welcome in everybody. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know that you were watching. Leave me a comment below and just say hi. Short, sweet is all that's necessary. If you're watching and you are not subscribed, consider subscribing. And yes, absolutely. And brand new um, to the channel is memberships. Memberships are now available, optional, but appreciated if you come on board as the Gobble Crew. Gobble Crew is what I call my members. And so, so anyway, let me pop over here to the live chat, see who is in. I know I saw Lyle, it was in here earlier. Hello, Lyle, welcome in. Honey Girl, Aurora, hi, Aurora, welcome in. Happy Thursday. There's Lyle. There's Lyle. Hello, Lyle. I knew I saw Lyle somewhere. Robin, I Heart Disney, hello. Happy Thursday. Angie C, welcome in. Angie is one of my members with that fancy little symbol right there. Thank you, Angie, for being on the Gobble Crew. Tina McNeil, hello, is another of my members and one of my Gobble Squad moderators. Hello, Tina. And hello to Chuck. Hi, Chuck. Welcome in. Dean of the Live Place. Hello, Dean. Welcome in. Great to have you. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday. Um, do 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 do. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Everyone's saying hi. Do 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 do. It's a small. I don't know. Why am I singing that? Monk's Disney Strolls. Hello, welcome in. Happy Thursday. So yeah. So I had a good day today. I went over to my sister's house. Saw my little nephew, held my little nephew again, saw my little niece. We were there for a little while. And then on the way home, my mom and I went to Costco. So I am all shopped up. I have food for the next, I won't need shopping until next week. Probably next Friday is when I'll plan to go shopping again. Um, but so what have you guys been doing today? Anything interesting? Um, uh, Robin said, Robin, you got turkey legs? Oh, or did I get turkey legs? I did not get turkey legs. Um, Costco does not have turkey legs, unfortunately. I do have some turkey legs that I need to cook, actually, and I might do that tomorrow. I have some turkey legs that I got from Publix that I need to cook. So that I might actually do that tomorrow. I have one quick little outing I have to do tomorrow morning, and then I'm gonna be home doing some things. Uh, oh, grocery shopping. Okay. And Robin wishes she had turkey legs. I know. I know. Um, um, Tina said, interesting, not really, was running a dog to the vet. Yay. Oh, well, I hope whichever doggy it was is okay. T-Town Mary Ellen. Hello, Mary Ellen. Um, welcome in. Happy belated birthday, Mary Ellen. Was that yesterday? Was that just yesterday? Um, so this is my first time being live. I've missed a couple of birthdays also. Who else had a birthday recently? Trying to remember. If you have a birthday today or sometime this week or this month, if you have a birthday in May, happy birthday. Um, Dean had a birthday, the live place, I think. Yes, on May 1st. I knew it. I knew it. So you're a May birthday as well, Dean. So absolutely. Um, Speaking of May birthdays, now last weekend I talked about Star Wars. Um, and we would not have Star Wars without George Lucas. Today, May 14th, is actually George Lucas's birthday. So happy birthday to George Lucas. Um, Tina McNeil said Chuck and mine's anniversary Saturday. Well, happy anniversary, Chuck and Tina. Today is actually my sister's anniversary. Her and my brother-in-law, um, celebrating an anniversary today. I have an aunt and an uncle who are celebrating an anniversary today. Um, Robin and her husband celebrated a anniversary. So lots of good things. Got lots of good things around. Birthdays, anniversaries, and absolutely. Um, so I want to share. Before the stream, about quarter of 8, a quarter of the hour of 8 o'clock Eastern time, I actually took down a poll that had been up for a while. I put it up a little less than a week ago, but it is Star Wars related since this is kind of a not themed. Um, so I had put a um, a poll on my community tab, which asked for the Star Wars fans out there, which trilogy is the best? Which Star Wars trilogy is the best? And the options were the original, which is episodes 4 through 6, prequels, episodes 1 through 3, or the sequels, episodes 7 through 9. So I had 19 votes. And so thank you if you participated in that. Um, so the winner are the original episodes. So 89% of the respondents said that the original Star Wars trilogy is the best. And 11% said that the prequels were the best. And then 0%, which is not entirely shocking, 0% said that the sequel trilogy was the best. If you still want to participate in a poll, I have a poll up that's going to help determine what I talk about Saturday night. Saturday, I'm starting my mini series called Disney According to Dean, and I'll be talking through all the parks, my favorites on all of the parks. And I have a poll up on my community tab um, asking which park I should start with. Normally, I've done this series a couple of times in the past, um, at least twice on this channel. Um, yeah, Disney. Um, this Dean. I'm talking about this Dean. Um, so anyway, there's a poll on my community tab, and it is asking which of the four parks. There's four options. Which park should I start with on? Should start with. So according to the results so far, one of the parks is way in the lead. But you never know. So head over there. If I have all right, what am I doing? I'm gonna go grab this. If I have one of my mods, one of my there you go. Thank you, Robin, right there. That post right there. You can even go and do it now. I will not be offended. I'm gonna be talking through all of the parks. I have 3 parts set up for the series, but I'm thinking that I'm not gonna just have one park per stream, but there may be enough, stuff to talk about through, each of the parks. But also I've got gonna cover Disney Springs, the resorts, just kind of my kind of initial thoughts. I review favorite things from all of the above in the categories. And so, anyway, that's going to be Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Angie and Lyle. Welcome in. Um, so, absolutely. So that's that's all I had to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat. What do you want to talk about? You can ask me. You can tell me. Um, you can. Yeah, thank you for all the votes. 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 Vote. You don't vote. Um, Robin says, let's talk about share recipes. Mmm. Ooh. Dean, I will get to that. I don't have a ton to contribute to that, but anyway, I want to talk about what Robin said, recipes. Speaking of recipes, I have been on a little bit of a kick the last month or so. Um, oh, okay, Angie, I will talk about that as well. So, one dish, it's not that complicated. I've been on kind of a kick lately, the last month or so. I've made a couple times. I've done baked rice where I take a long glass baking dish and I put I don't know if anyone else does this, but basically it's instead of cooking it on the stovetop on a pan or whatnot, put it in it's the same measurements. If you don't cook rice, basically it's a cup of rice. Uh, each cup of rice, you put 2 cups of water. When you are baking the rice, you boil the water first, so you do have to measure it out first. Or if you have like a Pyrex, type, measuring thing, you can boil water and then measure it from there. But you boil it, you put it in the pan with the rice, you put it in your oven. Your oven you're going to set to, I think 350 degrees is the temperature. I'd have to double check that. Anyway, you bake it in there for about an hour, and it comes out looking wonderful. You can put salts and seasonings, and if you want to put a little butter or oil in the water, when you're putting it into bake, that just makes it muy delicioso. And it's just really good. So baked rice. Um, so all right. So Dean said the live plays. Um, what about Disney streamer news? I've seen a lot about Disneyland putting a stop to streamers. I've heard about that. Um, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done a lot of like looking into it. Um, I mean, I don't know. My thoughts on it are, I think if Disneyland, Disney World, um, they absolutely have a right to say no to that happening. And unfortunately, my sense is from what I know from just watching some channels, not all channels. Most channel owners, most streamers, are pretty nice and respectful and everything. But I know that they're um, to people who are going to the park, and they're not streamers, and maybe they don't understand what else going on. Maybe they think it clutters up the park, or they don't want to be on camera, which technically, um, you know, if you're going to Disney, you're going to be on camera. You're going to be in someone's shot somewhere. You're going to be, you know, documented somewhere. You go on the rides, you're on cameras. Trust me, you're on cameras. How else do you think, the cast members know if someone's, getting up on the boat and they have to tell you to sit down, keep your hands on heads and whatever inside the boat at all times. Um, but as far as the streamers, it's one of those things. To me, it's one of those things. There had to have been a couple, or even just one in particular. Because it only takes one to, be a troublemaker for whatever that means. And Disney just deciding to, you know, put an end to it. Disneyland. I've not heard about that for Walt Disney World, per se. I know they prohibit cameras just in general on just different rides, but this is different. Just streamers doing streamers. Um, um, it's one of those things, why we can't have nice things. Um, because I know everyone, myself included, enjoys, watching live streamers. that are sharing the parks and the experiences. I enjoy doing it. I do the live streams. I was at Magic Kingdom yesterday and had a great little stream around. And I know am pretty considerate, very considerate. And the thing is with live streamers, I think some live streamers forget that just because you have a fancy camera on a gimbal does not put you above all the other guests in the park. You can't just go and, if you get to a show first, fine, you can have that front row view in that seat. But, there are some streamers that I can think of. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to name the names. But I've kind of, as far as me just watching in the perspective, it just kind of seems like, they just kind of not shove their way, but kind of finagle their way up to the front just to get a fancy view kind of going. And maybe it's just the perspective through the stream. Maybe they're not. Maybe there is a place that they legitimately did have room to go up there. But anyway, I think it would be very sad if the live streaming was not a thing. Because let me see. Yeah, Dean says to me, it seems the parks have been so busy that we as viewers can enjoy the parks via live stream. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. When you do get down there and you're focused on trying to go see a few things in the park. For me, um, I try to bring the relaxing side of the parks. So people watching me doing a stroll around Epcot, they might not notice a little detail in Norway. They were rushing through to go get their, Frozen Ever After lightning lane, and they didn't notice that detail that I just showed, on the stream. Just for an example, or wherever the little detail is. Um, um, Robin says, saying that putting a phone on a gimbal doesn't always mean it's a live stream either. And that's true. It can be a vlog, someone doing a vlogging, or even just for taking pictures. Um, I think it's not necessarily the fact that it's a live stream sometimes. I think it's just that, people are intimidated by, or not intimidated, but annoyed. They have a problem with, seeing a phone out and being recorded, um, and they take it personal, I think. But Monk says, I watch live streams almost every night. I just hope people can start being more respectful to everyone. Absolutely. Um, absolutely. And not to going back to what Robin said, not every time you see someone out with a camera, they're not necessarily recording content to post on the internet. They might just be taking some pictures, taking video for themselves at home to share with, maybe they have a few relatives at home. Angie says, I really enjoy the park live streams. Like Dean just said, I enjoy seeing all the details. Absolutely, I enjoy too, and I try to show those. Um, Dean says, and those if those meta glasses improve, it would be pretty hard to stop live streamers. That is another very good point. The little meta glasses. Yeah, absolutely. And Lyle says it's a nice way for those of us that can't always afford to go to the parks to be able actually see and hear the parks. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah. Timothy, welcome in. Hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome into this bonus surprise chat. So that's, hopefully my thought, I was able to present my thoughts in reaction to that cohesively with the streamers. Um, I think if Walt Disney World does do it, it would be very sad, but they would be definitely like within their purview to try to, um, you know, quash or squash or mitigate the amount, of people doing that. But as it has been said, I've heard it said, um, it's free advertising. It's, a detail or a little experience might be shown on a stream that people didn't catch, when they were there or they didn't know about, and they may go and they may try it out the next time that they're there because they saw it on a live stream or on um, a a vlog or whatever. Um, so Timothy's asking, Dean Turkey Legster, do you still do that episode with the van show? I'm not sure what you're asking, Timothy. Do I still do that episode with the fan show? So I'm not sure what you're asking, Timothy. If you're talking about, I did Turkey Legster Zone a couple weeks ago where I had my new van, AI was on the thumbnail. It was an AI representation of my new minivan that I got a couple weeks ago, and so I put my van on the thumbnail because that was kind of the subject. That was kind of the big news of the day for that show. Um, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Timothy. Monk says, I've always thought if they ever did ban streamers, vloggers, they would lose too much money between people wanting to go to Disney because of the streams or people that buy merch food to review. Yeah, I think they would. I think they definitely would. There would be, and there would be some people that don't like if that was a change. People wouldn't like that change. There are some people that would absolutely adore the change. Um, I think it would be helpful too. I think if Disney uh, comes out, um, they could come out with like a guide, a 10 rules or whatever, 10 commandments type thing of live streaming. What from Disney's perspective, this is what you can do, and when you're streaming here, this is what you cannot do. Just to kind of be specific on what you can and cannot do. Um, Angie says, I've learned so much about Epcot from live streams that I missed when I was there. Absolutely. Yeah. And things like, I don't have it here, but the scavenger hunt, that I did. I've got it up there actually. I can't reach the prize, but I've still got the map in here. This thing where you do the things, where you do the stickers. Experiences like that you might not have done when you were um, visiting Disney. Ooh, Robin's coming to Disney for the 4th of July. I'll be talking to you, Robin. Um, so Lyle says live streamers do have rules that Disney put in place. Um, really? I'm gonna have to look that up. Uh, Robin says we are meeting up, Dean. Let's go scavenger hunting again. Oh, we should. All right, let me get back because I need to move on to this thing first before we get into the show, and I feel like ending. Angie asked, Dean, you mentioned cooking your turkey legs. How do you cook them? I usually smoke mine. So I am so outside of Disney, I have a couple of I have a couple of different places that I buy turkey legs. Walmart carries smoked turkey legs. Uh, so they're cooked, they're smoked, but they're just cold, and you have to warm them up. So in that case, I don't do anything to them. I just warm them up, and those are from Walmart. When it comes to some of the turkey legs I get from Publix, or all of them actually, they have just the raw, the plain uncooked turkey legs. Um, and those I just put like on a roaster pan, and I roast them or bake them. Um, just like that. I have tried putting some like salt and seasonings on them, but basically if they're come plain, I just bake them. I just bake them or roast them or whatever and cook them plain, and they're really good there. So I actually don't do a ton of prep or seasoning on my turkey legs. Um, but I have done some. I have done some different seasonings here and there. I will experiment, but normally I just want to get the things cooked so I can eat them. And yeah. Um, Monk says, yeah, do you like in Disneyland you have to wrist straps for some rides? Yeah, I know that some people, if they want to try to stream in Disney World, if they want to do like Tron or um, something like that, they have to have like the chest mount. Um, Lyle says, I think Josh of Resort TV One has actually talked about the rules that live streamers have to abide by. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there are rules, official rules. I haven't seen them. Um, Robin says, saltwater brine is what I do to my turkey. Love it. Um, Timothy, bye. If you're leaving, have a great night. Thanks for popping in. If you're not leaving, you're welcome to stay. Have a great evening, great weekend. Angie says I wrap mine in bacon too. Ooh, well, that sounds yummy. I mean, anything with bacon is yummy. Um, so yeah, wonderful. Speaking of live streams, before I forget, I have scheduled my next Disney visit and live stream. It will be next Wednesday on the 20th, and I will be live from Disney's Animal Kingdom. The stream is set up. I'll be live around 9:30, 9:30. Yesterday I actually got up. I got out of the door um around 7, which is earlier than I normally get out the door. And it actually wasn't terrible. Traffic was a little still crazy driving around Orlando. Um, it wasn't quite as bad though, I thought. But I also left earlier yesterday. I left like early mid-afternoon and I missed rush hour and so traffic wasn't bad coming home. So I had a good drives um yesterday. But I kind of thought about it. I'm up I'm up at like 5:30 to leave and go when I go to New Smyrna to do a sunrise stream, which I'm planning my next one in probably early June. Sorry guys. One second. Okay. Um so stay tuned to the channel. I'll be planning that um here, scheduling it. Um Robin's asked a question. I'll get to that, Robin, in just a second. Dean, Orlando traffic is even crazy at 5:30 a.m. I'll bet. I'll bet. Joel, welcome in. Joel Brim, welcome in. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday evening. Um, all right, Robin asked, Dean, out of the 4 parks, which one do you enjoy most for your stream strolls and why? I think I'm really just going to go with Epcot. Um, Epcot, I think for the streaming, um, just it's I think it's the feel of the World Showcase, particularly. Um, and that's just in general. If I wasn't streaming, um, that's why I love Epcot, the most out of all the parks. It's There's something about walking around the showcase, that view across the water. If the World Showcase Lagoon wasn't there, if it wasn't water, if they had some like other attractions or whatnot, in the middle there, I don't how I wouldn't be as in the park would just not be as great as it is. But Epcot definitely. I enjoy Animal Kingdom as well. Animal Kingdom, um, strolling through Animal Kingdom. Um, it's problematic. It's really problematic. Disney could sure, get me to like Animal Kingdom better if they would just sell turkey legs at Animal Kingdom. And there's zero reason why they can't do that. But if they did do that, Animal Kingdom and Epcot would tie for first, in my view, as it's just as far as the feel and the atmosphere and the vibes or whatever I want to do about parks. So, but Epcot has turkey legs, so it edges out to the top, um, for me, ahead of Animal Kingdom. But they could be tied. They could be tied if certain things happened. Definitely. Lyle said, let me try that again. I like the resort stream, especially contemporary resort. That is a family childhood favorite resort. Yeah, I need to try to do some more resort streams, and I may do that over the summer. It may be a way to sort of go down to Disney and beat the heat a little bit. I want to go stream at the Art of Animation. I want to go stream at um, oh, yeah, Riverside. I could do Riverside, and then go stroll over to the French Quarter. Um, yeah, I want to do some resorts. Um, I could go and next time I do an Epcot stream, I'm actually thinking I may leave through the International Gateway and then go over and visit the boardwalk and the Yacht and Beach Club. So it would be like an Epcot and then resorts. I have done that before, but I may do that again, and that'll be kind of a way to get a little Epcot in and go over and see the resorts. Um, so that's an idea. Um, so yeah. So anywho, yeah. Um, trying to think what else. I was starting to look through the Disney news so that I could have a few stories to discuss on Monday morning on Rooster Mode Activated on Monday morning. Um, I have to look again. Nothing really caught my fancy that I could talk about here. There, um, so we'll see. I'm gonna look again and tune in. Tune in. Yeah, tune in. Angie says, "What about sunset walks on the beach?" I love your sunrise streams. Well, thank you. I enjoy them too. I'm not opposed to a sunset, but the thing is, I'd have to drive over to like, I don't know, Clearwater, Tampa, whatever area, to get the sunset view. Um, or if I find like, if there's like a lake that has like sunset views, I could stream a little closer. Um, so I'd have to look at that. I have to look at that and see what kind of, big lakes or whatever we have that have places that you can get a sunset view. So I could look at doing a sunset view. I could even go down, uh, do a stream at sunset at Disney. Um, which I could do. I do want to do an evening stream at Epcot, and that could involve starting, to watch the sunset at Epcot, across the World Showcase. Tina says, I like any of the streams where you're walking around showing stuff anywhere. Yeah, speaking of which, I am also want to get back to Lou Gardens. I have not been back to Lou Gardens in a couple of months, in a little while. I need to get back there and visit Lou Gardens. So I might do that here coming up um, soon. Tina also says, I'm usually watching them around sunset. Does that count? I guess if, Well, it doesn't count as a sunset stream. I don't Hi, Dave. I like your sunrise streams, but they're on so early. Can you do one in the late afternoon instead? Hi, Dave. Welcome in. If I could find a way to work that out, I would. I gotta be honest, and I probably mentioned this before. Um, it is kind of weird when I wake up very early in the morning and I'm driving, out to New Smyrna, and it's dark, and all the other traffic on the road, they've got headlights on, and it's dark, and I'm driving along, and it's dark, and it's just kind of it's unusual, when you're um, when it's dark, and so but it is so worth it when you're at the beach and you see the sun come up. You see you see the world just become so colorful as the light, comes into, you know, happens. And you greet the day, and it's wonderful. And it becomes worth it at that point to have woken up, and then you realize this is why I woke up when it was so dark. Um, but yeah. Julie Gerbil, hello. Welcome in, Julie. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Hope you are having a great Thursday. Robin asked, Dean, how about more Hidden Mickey streams? You know, I don't really do Hidden Mickeys. Um, that's all I'm going to leave it at that. Hidden Mickeys, especially on streams. I don't think they're my thing. I'm going to leave that to other people who, um, you know, like do vlogs. Um, so anyway, I did do great last time. I was still, well, I know I stopped it later that day, but the thing is, I loosened up my criteria from hidden Mickey to just Mickey. So, I think I went into like the, one of the gift shop there on Boardwalk, and every little thing that had Mickey on it, I was counting. So I think I got like 40 Mickeys that I added. Yeah. So exactly, Robin. There's actually a hidden Mickey behind me, in the E. I don't know if you can see it. There's a hidden Mickey right there in the E. So tell me if you can find it. Julie asks, how is your new van working out? It's working out great. Um, I just gave it a little wash, the front end, today because we have those lovely little love bugs flying around. But as far as the van, it's working well. I did, so I had bought the new one, the 2016 Odyssey. Um, it's whatever date that was. Um, that would have been on, was that May 1st? That might have been May 1st. I don't forget. Um, no, or the 2nd. Was that Saturday? Oh, it was on the 2nd. Um, it was on May 2nd. So yeah, this is like almost 2 weeks later. Yeah. So anyway, this past Monday evening, I got a buyer for my old van, my 2008. That's gone, and so yeah, I'm loving the new van. Um, there's some couple features on it that I'm enjoying. Um, Number one, there's the little middle compartment, the little thing that lifts up in the middle. I have one of those now. It only has like one thing in it now, and which is the the insurance and registration. Um, but I'm sure with time, um, it'll get filled up with useless junk. Also, this has a start stop button. I have never. This is the first. Yeah, Robin, it's a console. It's a console. Thank you. Um, oh, I should make my license plate Legster. I could do that. John Corndog, welcome in. Um, Hope you're having a great Thursday. So anyway, the start and the stop button. Dave says useless junk candy pins that are leaking napkins and things that you lost 6 months before. Exactly, Dave. And actually, I have a little tub that actually I need to kind of. I'm putting a new tub in there. I have what I call a stuff tub because in my old van I didn't have anywhere like that to just put, stuff. So I'm gonna have a stuff tub again, but the new one that I'm transferring every one thing to, it's a little skinnier, smaller, and so I'm gonna be sorting out and seeing what I can get rid of. I think it's been so long since I've sorted out stuff. I think I still may have some of those reusable masks, the little cheap things, the things. I think it's been long enough. I can get rid of those now. Um, and napkins, I've got plenty of napkins, but I use napkins in my Disney bag. So and the straws. I do actually have real straws. I actually ordered on Amazon. I ordered a whole package of real straws. So I smuggle real straws into Disney so I don't have to use their fake, environmentally friendly, um, biodegradable crap. Um, this is the stash that I have in this room. I ordered a box um, from Amazon and it came with like 300 straws. So I have a ton of straws that I can take to Disney and elsewhere. I use them at the house. I've got one here, right there. Can you see it? Amusement park, Excuse me. Amusement Park Pirates. Hello, welcome in. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, isn't it? Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. Dave said minivans should come with a paper towel mini. Tina keeps straws handy. Paper straws are useless. Absolutely. Joffrey's actually, their straws are a little better. There's still some kind of earth friendly something or something. Um, they're not plastic, but they don't disintegrate like the paper straws do. And I'm not sure what actually they are. Some kind of, I don't know if it's beeswax or it's something biodegradable, but it doesn't just melt in a minute. Um, um, but yeah. Do 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 do. Robin says, picture, if you will, sipping your drink out of a paper straw to save the sea life while eating seafood at Disney. They're still serving in plastic cups. So this is the hypocrisy of the whole using, paper versus plastic. Next time you go to the grocery store, especially in the produce department, just look at how much plastic, and it's everywhere really, but just look at how much plastic your food is in. And then you go to the front, and then, depending on where you are, um, they may have outlawed plastic bags. They may not be doing plastic straws. But just look at your food packaging. How much plastic is still being used? Look at all the packaging of anything, and it's still plastic. But we're switching our straws for the sea turtles. Julie says, have you ever had a noodle straw? I have never had a noodle straw. I have never had. Absolutely, Tina. Bread too. Everything. Absolutely. John, plastic cups are okay, but sea life does legally questionable things with plastic straws. That's true, Dave. They don't. That's true, Lyle. Everything, just think about it. Think it through. Yeah. Um, Julie Gerbil says a noodle straw is like a long straw made out of pasta. Okay. Now, I mean, I like pasta. We could talk about pasta, but you're talking about a specific, um, that makes sense. Now, depending on what you're drinking out of it, though, um, I guess the pasta will stay hard for a while you're drinking. Um, Look, I got me a supply. What I held up a minute ago is just a little bit of what I have. And I'm going to continue. even if I pay a few bucks to have to get a supply in from Amazon, yeah. Chris, the Curtis family, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Angie says the plastic rings that hold a six-pack together does so much more damage to sea life than a straw. That's true. That will. And the plastic bags, depending on what you do with it, um, yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean, I throw these away. I do not litter. Everything goes into a garbage can with, there's a garbage bag. I close up everything inside of a plastic, I am environmentally conscious, you know. I am responsible in that way. Um, but you gotta, yeah. Do 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 do. Yes, that's a good idea, Angie, to cut the rings so they don't get caught on it. I don't buy drinks with that, but if I did, I would make sure that I did that. I like cut things. Um, Let me scroll back up. Dave said the noodles do stay hard and don't get soggy like a paper straw. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they definitely don't get soggy in the time that you're drinking the drink out of them. So it's a thing. You gotta have common sense. You gotta care, and we do have to be responsible for this earth and for the animals. God gave us this earth. God told us to take care of it, but at the same time, you know, you got to have common sense. And I think that I think we're at a point where you have to have common sense. You have to look at everything. You have to see, okay, we can have some convenient things. We can use plastic for a few things. We can use paper for a few things, and we can be responsible for our planet. And there might be a different way to do some things. There might not be, but because yeah, we do have to take care of the planet. Um, and but you kind of have to ask yourself, um, is this doing that, or is it just a crazy people control thing by the powers? Um, so anyway, that's my thoughts on it. That's totally my thoughts on it. Well, we're over an hour, guys. Any last minute thoughts for tonight? Thank you all for popping in. I will be back Saturday night. We are going to be talking about, let me check the poll. Let me check the poll. This is on my community tab. To anybody, um, is not voted yet. It's on my community tab. You go to the front page of my channel, and it's going to be over on on my phone it says posts. And then the poll is I have 30 votes currently. Patrick Julian, hello. Welcome in. Bright suns, rising moons, gobbles and greetings. Um, so I have 30 votes, and I have a very clear winner. I have a very clear winner. I think if you have voted in that poll, you will have seen the results, but I will publicly share. I'm going to leave the poll up until Saturday, right before the stream. So if you haven't participated in that poll on my um, community page, go over there and participate in which park I should start with on my Disney According to Dean series. Um, and yeah, so I'll see you Saturday. Um, I'll see you Monday for Rooster Mode Activated, 8 a.m. And then Wednesday, I will be at Animal Kingdom, um, strolling around. We'll see what we can get into on Wednesday. And yeah, thanks again to my to everyone watching, subscribing. Thank you so much. To all my Gobble Squad for being my moderators, and of course, um, thank you to my channel members, my Gobble crew, um, for joining the membership to support the channel. Julie Gerbil asks, have you ever been to Wikiwachi? I think so when I was little. Um, Not recently, but I think I have been to Wikiwachi. Um, but anyway, yeah. So thank you again. Really quickly, let me just thank you to the members. Kay Wilby, my first member. Tina McNeil, Dave Stragan, Angie C, and Debbie Burnfield are my members. And feel free to join if you wish to, come on board and support the channel. You don't have to. It is not required, but it is appreciated. I enjoy doing this for you, and you just watching, bopping the like, chatting is awesome as well. And yes, so I don't actually get the cool emojis. You have cool emojis. You can access from your as a member. I've got a few on there now. I have a rooster. I have a turkey leg, of course. I have the logo, the Gobble Crew logo. There's also another logo. That is a picture of me. That's me when I was about 3 or 4 um, at Magic Kingdom. You know, the um, the little gallows they have there in Liberty Square. That was me. So that's a fun picture. So I put that on there. Um, and I'll add more. I'll add more once I get some more members and I figure out what I want to put on there. Um, so anyway, guys, that's gonna do it. Um, so thank you so much. Have a gobble-tastic evening. and Friday. I'll see you Saturday. And take care, guys. And I'll see you.